Right. Daniel 5, verse 23 to 27.
Daniel 5, 23 kufika pa 27.
Where it says, "And the God in whose hand thy breath is, and whose are all thy ways, hast thou not glorified."
Ndiposo mulungu amene mkwiyo wako ulili, mwamene mjira yako yonse wesuna mlemekeze.
Then was the part of the hand sent from him, and this writing was written, and this is the writing that was written, Mene mene tekel uphazin. This is the interpretation of the thing. Mene, God hath numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Tekel, thou art weighed in the balances and art found wanting. Now, when he was interpreting this word tekel, he says, thou art weighed in the balances. Now, balances, it speaks of the scale. Now, you've seen of course, many times you've gone to the butchery. And there's that scale, they take a lot of meat and they put it there. Now, according to the measurement, you have to make a certain payment. You are all familiar with that, isn't it? Now, that's what the scale we are looking at here. I want in our minds, we imagine a scale which has two weighing plates. Now, have you seen the symbol of our, what do you call that? That statute, which is at the High Court. There's a figure of a woman, huh? And on the other hand, the woman is holding the scales of justice. How many have seen that statue? Yeah, now when you look at that, now that's the scale I want you to have in your mind. A scale which has two weighing plates. So now in our illustration, I'll use Brother Nzima to do his hands like this. So in this scale, you're going to have a weight placed here. You better hold it properly because whoever is the owner doesn't want this to fall. Okay, so there is a weight here. So now, let's say this is you. And let's say there is a standard which is being used here. And we want, if this thing is truthful, it needs to weigh up and balance. But if I were to put this thing here, and then this one is heavier, now what that means is, which one is wanting here? Now when I say wanting, I mean it has a certain portion missing there which can't measure up to this thing here. So now when you look at it the way it has tilted, which one is wanting? Yeah, that one is wanting, isn't it? It means there is a certain portion of its weight which is missing. It can't measure up to this standard. So if I was to put something so that it levels up, yeah, it means it has measured up to a predetermined standard. Okay, thank you, brother, for that illustration. So now, so you understand when God here was saying, telling this king of Babylon that you have been weighed in the balances and you've been found wanting. Something is missing in you. So I want us to understand it in the right context when we say you are found wanting. You are not measuring up to what God desires. As I was thinking about this subject, my thoughts went back to World War I.
maganizo yanga yanabwerera ku nkhondo ya dziko lonse ya pansi yoyamba.
Now that was a terrible war.
Ija inali nkhondo yoyipa.
A lot of lives were lost.
Mioyo yambiri inataiwa.
Britain, France, America,
Britain ku France ku America
fighting against Germany.
kumenya nkhondo kumenyana na vutana na Germany.
And of course there were a few other smaller countries which were rallying behind Germany.
Inde kulena tumaiko twina tung'ono tunali kumbuyo kwa Germany.
Now on record,
muzokamba chabe
over 16 million people died.
Vantu wochirapo 16 million vanamwalira.
That's a very big number, 16 million.
Iyo namba ikulu maningi.
Now out of these, 7 million were civilians.
Kuli hapo bali 7 million veze vantu chabe sonali masoja.
And then 10 million were people in the military.
Bali 10 million ndiye vanali vantu vanali masoja.
Then coming to the Second World War.
Ku nkhondo ya dziko la pansi yonse yachiviri.
Second World War was even worse. It has been estimated that between 50 and 80 million people died. Now maybe we need to understand what kind of numbers we're talking about here.
What's the
population of Zambia now?
The
population of Zambia is 15.
Zambia 15 million.
According to the First World War, the number of people who died are about all the people in Zambia right now, isn't it? Because we are speaking of 16 million, and in Zambia we are 15 million. But for the Second World War, you are talking of 50, between 50 and 80 million. That's a huge number of people. Now, I was reading a history book, and this great 20th century historian, he remarked something about World War I. And he said World War I was the wellspring of our discontents, where this country wants this resource. Germany wanted domination, and that spilled over into a war. And that is how far human want can reach. In wanting more, it breeds war, strife, confusion. And it begs the question, how could it be that the world could wind up under such a terrible spell? Because I mean, Germany had a lot of madness in it. It believed it was in its destiny to rule and control the world. And Britain started taking note of that. So when Britain realizes that there is imminent danger coming from Germany, they begin to prepare themselves in terms of more investment in oil. And before you realize it, a simple incident, it sparked a world war. But now, after centuries, we look back and sit and try to analyze all these events. And when you look at the peace we are enjoying, at least relatively, it makes us wonder and ask, how could human want have led to a disaster of such major proportions? Now, it may look so complicated a question, or so complicated an issue to analyze. Yes, it looks complicated when you look at it on a global scale. But you need to know that the problem of want or discontent doesn't start with the world. It starts with individuals. Because it takes individuals to make a family. It takes a family to form a society. It takes societies to form a country. And in turn, it takes countries to make the world. So what we see ultimately as the behavior of the world is reducible to what individuals, human beings, are doing. And really, when you look at it from that fundamental level, it will be easy for you to see that there is a basic dysfunction in the human mind. The behavior to have something on your side and not on the other side. The behavior for you to be first. The behavior for you to have something in possession and not another person. The behavior to feel more important than another person. And that is what led to a white man feeling like a black man, his place is to be a slave. But it's not only a white man who had that problem. If you localize the problem here in Africa, the problem gets reduced to tribal problems. One tribe points at another tribe of being tribal. That is true, isn't it? Where Bembas will say Tongas are tribal. Tongas will say Bembas are tribal. You go among the Bembas themselves, in their communities, they'll say, that neighbor is proud. Well, you reduce a family unit, there's going to be a problem among family members. So at the end of it, you find that man is in a state of confusion, of selfishness, of seeing oneself to be I and another to be you. But then there is a creator. It is his breath that is in every human being, that is in every animal. And when he looks at us, he sees that one breath. But a human being is so disillusioned because of the physical form. So that because you are black, I am white, you think we're not one thing. But the wise people, they rise above that. They see the power that unites everyone. And that is the power of life. Amen. And you see, when you look at Daniel, the very portion where we're reading, in verse 23. Are you there? Yes. Let us read. And the God in whose hand thy breath is, and whose are all thy ways, hast thou not glorified. So, whenever a human being, his attention is on himself, and thinks, I own this. It is I. You are glorifying yourself. But the beginning of wisdom is the realization that there is him in whose hand is the breath of every living thing.
kuyamba kwa nzeru kuzindikira kuti kuli iye mwamene zonse za umoyo ziyamba.
And if he sustains my life,
ngati ndiye alifunga umoyo wanga,
really, in him I walk, in him I do everything.
mwa iye nazona nchiniyenda, mwa iye nichita vosi, mwa iye nikhala.
Now notice this.
Onani ichi.
There's one thing we can identify in every human kind of desire.
Kuli chimozi chimene tingaone mkhalidwe iliyonse ya munthu.
Not being satisfied with what you have.
Kusakutira na vamene tili navo.
And some people,
Vanthu bena,
the madness of pursuing that,
kufuntha kofunisisa icho chinthu.
it can drive them to an extent that even when they have enough, they still feel, I need more.
Chingawapereke kumalo kwakufuna pamene bali navo kwana wangafunisise vambiri.
Now really, the gospel we read in the Bible is a very simple gospel.
Utenga timawerenga m'Bible ni utenga wachidule.
Let's look at what John the Baptist was preaching to those people.
Tieni tuone pamene Yohane Mbatizi anauza baja vanthu.
He speaks something very important with regards the quest in human beings to want something.
Akambapo chimozi chikulu mkuonekera kuchofunisisa cha munthu kufuna chinthu.
Now, Luke chapter 3 verse 10 to 14.
Luka 3:10 kufika pa 14.
Praise the Lord. Amen. Luke 3 verse 10 to 14.
Luka 3:10 kufika pa 14.
Now, this is John the Baptist. He is preaching.
Uyu ni Yohane Mbatizi alalikira.
And there is a crowd which has gathered to hear what he has to say.
Pali gulu yabwera kuti imvere vamene akamba.
And his message is so penetrating
Utenga wake wangala wongena mu mitima.
that it has touched different kinds of unbelievers.
Kotero kuti yakuza osiyana osakhulupirira.
In his meetings,
Mukukumana kwake,
the Pharisees found themselves there.
Afarisi wanazipezapo.
In his meetings,
Misonkhano iyi,
the tax collectors, they found themselves there.
vaja wotenga misonkho wanazipezapo.
Even the soldiers, the people in the army, they found themselves trying to hear what this man was
Asilikali
speaking.
nao wanazipezapo kuti wamvere pamene munthu analukamba.
His message was so authoritative.
Utenga wake unali wa mphamvu.
And as they sat in that hot sunshine,
Pamene wanakhala pali cha zuwa yakupya,
they could see something sincere to this message.
wanaluona chimozi cha zoona tozipereka kuli utenga uyu.
No, he wasn't out there trying to do some miracles and healings.
Sanali kuja kunja kufuna izo chitakodabwisa na machiriso.
As a matter of fact, the Bible says John did no miracle. Is that right?
Mukamkukamba chabe Bible kamba ti Yohane sana chitodabwisa chilichonse chazoona icho.
But as he expounded the scriptures,
Pamene anamasulira malembo,
there was something so powerful and so penetrating to his message
kunali chimozi cha mphamvu maningi ndiponso cholasa kutenga wake.
that people could feel and discern the presence of God in that message.
Kotero kuti vanthu analumvera nodzivisisa mphamvu ya Mulungu mu utenga uja.
And it prompted them to start asking questions.
Chinawakuza kuti vayamba kufunsa mafunso.
And notice verse 10.
Onani ndime ya 10.
And the people asked him, saying, what shall we do then?
Vanthu anamfunsa tidzachita chani tsopano.
Now, sometimes you would wonder,
Nthawi zina mungadabwe.
how was the preaching of John the Baptist like?
Kulalikira kwa Yohane Mbatizi kunali bwanji?
How was his ministry like?
Utumiki wake unali bwanji?
Now, you know a person's ministry by the words he speaks as he preaches.
Uzaona utumiki wa munthu na mawu amene alalikira ena kamba akalalikira.
Let us get to have an idea of what John was teaching the people.
Tiye tikhale na nzeru kuziwa kuti Yohane analifunsa chani vanthu.
So let's see what he answered.
Tiye tionvena nayankha.
He answered and said unto them,
Anayankha anati kwa iwo,
he that hath two coats,
uja anavovala viwiri,
let him impart to him that has none.
lekana apase kwa uja alibe.
And he that hath meat, let him do likewise.
Uja ana chakudya lekana achite chimozimozi naye.
I love this blessed old message that John the Baptist preached,
Nikonda utenga odalisika wabwino amene Yohane Mbatizi analalikira.
because it is so different of what you would hear today in a church service.
Chifukwa nchosiyana maningi na zamene mzamvera lero mawu ya mpingo yokhalapo.
Do you know the message of God is not complicated?
Muzoti utenga wa Mulungu siwapa mwamba maningi.
It is based on simple fundamental truths.
Siwimira pa zinthu zozichepesa zatitonati zing'ono.
Him that has two coats,
Ujana viwiri vikoti,
let him impart to him that has none.
lekana apase uja kwa libe.
That is not so mysterious, is it?
Icho sichachilendo maningi simwamene.
It is not mysterious,
Si chinthu chapa mwamba manicho chapa mwamba.
but when you look at it closely,
mukachonesesa pafupi,
it reveals a deeper truth in it.
chitirangiza choonadi chapamwamba maningi.
It also reveals a fundamental dysfunction in human society.
Chilangisa na kusaseleza bwino kwa pamwamba kwa mkhalidwe y'abantu.
Because a human being right from childhood,
chifukwa mundu kutoka chabe ku mwana,
we want to hold what we have.
tifuna ogwira vemetili navo.
I've worked for it, I've sweated for it. It is mine.
Ni changa.
That's the basic human nature.
Iyo ndiye khalidwe chabe ya umuntu.
And this nature manifests right from our childhood.
Khalidwe imambira kushikali bana.
I have seen it in my small boy.
Nachiona mulika mwana wanga mfano.
I can buy Terry 5 sweets.
Ningamgulire ma sweet 5 Terry.
They are all yours.
Na yose ni yako.
And he'll be so excited.
Azamvera bwino.
And I'll ask him.
Nzamfunza.
I'm asking for one.
Nipemba boy mozi chabe.
Say no. Smart.
Akana tini yanga.
After giving him all that.
Pambuyo pompasa vose hizo.
But at least he has one behavior.
Kwa maliko na khalidwe imozi.
Whenever I go to the shop,
nikaenda ku shop,
I'm only with him.
Ngatiri babiri.
And I buy him a sweet.
Nikamgulira sweet.
He always say, what of for Joshua?
Azakamba tinanga Joshua.
That thing he always remembers. That's one thing I like about him.
Whatever
you give him, the second question is, give me also for Joshua. But if I ask it from him myself, no, this is mine. And this childish thing, it actually only grows as we grow older. What is in your hands? This is mine. You feel it's in my possession. And that's how human society is. But John says, if you have two, give another to him that doesn't have. Now, of course, his message is striking against a thing which seems to be part of our nature, of holding on to things. Verse 12. Then came also publicans to be baptized. Now these publicans, it included people such as tax collectors. We have one here. Yeah, she works for Zedra. People who were collecting taxes from people. Tax. So in this time they used to be called tax collectors. And people never used to like these people. Because Israel was so very much taxed. At this time Israel was under the Roman rule. So whatever little business you have, you need to pay tax to Caesar. Now one thing you don't want is that creditor to come and visit you to say, and so these people used to have a certain reputation. But worse off, they also used to be corrupt. There were these bad guys who would charge more than they were supposed to do. And so when you are found with these guys, so these are sinners. They always get tax from us. Always charge even poor people. And it was well known, they always get even more than they're supposed to. And here are these people, they find themselves in a meeting of a very powerful preacher. So when they heard the message of John, it pierced to their hearts. And they had to ask a question. It is always good when you are ministering the word to someone. And when they ask the question, what does this mean? It shows someone is following, isn't it? And here, the message pierces them to the heart. And they say, Master, what about us? Publicans, sinners, condemned. What shall we do? to be saved.
kuti tipulumuke.
And he said unto them,
Anati kwa iwo.
verse 13,
Ndime 13.
exact no more than that which is appointed you.
Osachita kuchirapo zija zamene zaikiwa kwa imwe.
The question is, why would someone want to charge more than he's not
Mfunzo
supposed?
nyoti nchani mmoza afuna kuchaja kuchira zija zamene afani kuchajira.
It all goes back to the function of want,
Chibwerera ku mtima wofuna.
not being content with what you already have,
Usakutira na zamene uli nazo.
being deceptive.
Kunkhala na umoyo wakabisira.
Now, we all usually want something,
Tonse timafuna chintu.
but the want we are talking about here
Koma chifuniro chentikambapo.
is where an element of addiction and obsession is going.
Tikamba pamene wakhala wajoverera maningi.
Where you reduce the purpose of life to pursuing earthly things.
Pamene umoyo iwe khalidwe wa umoyo wakhala waika maningi nzeru kufunisisa vinthu va mdziko.
That is the basic drive
Icho ndiye chokuyenza maningi.
behind a person who has two coats.
Pakumbuyo kwa uja mundu ana vikoti
He
viwiri.
sees another who doesn't have a cloth,
Aona mzake alibe chovala.
but it doesn't move him. He still feels, no, this belongs to me.
Tapera kuti ichi nchanga.
Are you seeing the difference between one who would say, I think I need something,
Mwaona kusiyana na uja kamba tini ngafunike chimozi.
and another for whom want has become an obsession, a god?
Jawamene chifuniro takhala chomtenga maningi mtima.
Selfishness.
Kuzikonda.
And this is what is happening here
Ivi ndiye vichitika hapa.
with a publican
Na uja wakunja.
who charges more than he should.
Mwamene achaja kuchira mwamene afuniko chajira.
It's a function of want.
Ni nchito ya chifuniro.
Want can become an obsession.
Kufuna kwa kujila kwa mtima kukakhale chotenga mtima.
Let's move on.
Chenipitirize.
Now, here is a third category of people who interest me so much.
Mbali ya chitatu ya vantu amene wanika wanitenga mtima.
The soldiers.
Asirikali.
Now, obviously, in this time,
Koma pali nthawi.
actually, when you read history,
Mukawerenga za kumbuyo.
Rome used to have a lot of soldiers.
Uroma kunakana asirikali wambiri maningi.
And it was always a problem to pay them
Inali vuto kuwalipira.
because there were so many of them.
Izo wambiri maningi.
And actually, that is why the Roman Empire started overcoming other provinces, like, other regions like Israel and all that, so that they can find people from whom they can get taxes to foot the bill for their army, their soldiers, and the Roman citizens.
So analupeza ko maro aba Roma kutumaziko tumamalo tunatumwa kugonjesa mungatu wa Israel kuti atengeko chuma chambo lipira asirikali na abantu bawo.
That became a very important, actually crucial strategy for Rome.
Chinangala chintu chikulu chochitako makhalidwe yawo a Roma.
They overcome a nation,
Wagonjesa dziko.
and then the people in that nation,
Vantu va mdziko ija.
whatever they farm,
Vili vose valima.
whatever work they do,
Ntchito iliyonse vachita.
the Romans would tax them.
Aroma analiwapasa
And
misomo.
when they get that money, they get that farm
Vakatenga
produce,
ija ndrama zidave valima aja vantu.
they would feed the soldiers.
Wanalujesa asirikali.
And of course, a huge portion would go to the senators, the people who were the leaders in the government and all that.
Kulu inalienda kuli vaja wapa mwamba analosogolera wa mboma.
And these soldiers, they used to work so hard.
Ava asirikali wanalisenza maningi na mpango.
But their pay was little.
Koma ndrama zao zinali zing'ono.
Because the empire actually grew so large,
Uja ufumu unakula maningi.
and it was always a problem to take care of these people.
Inali vuto kusamalira ava vantu.
And this time now,
Inthawi manje.
the soldiers are also finding themselves
Asirikali nao vazipeza.
in this revival meeting.
Muli revival ya Yohana.
The message also touches them.
Mau nao yawakuza.
And they also have a question.
Nao wanafunso.
Verse 14.
Ndime 14.
And the soldiers likewise demanded of him, saying, and what shall we do?
Asirikali nao chimodzimodzi wanamfunsa iye kuti zachita bwanji.
And he said unto them,
Anati kwa iwo.
do violence to no man,
Osachita ndewo kuli munthu aliwonse.
neither accuse any falsely.
Osapeza chifukwa paboza na munthu.
Now, the last words are the ones which I'm looking at.
Mawu osirizira ndiye nilanga napo.
Let us all read those last words.
Tiye tiwerenge aja mawu osirizira.
Let's all read together. And be content with your wages.
Kutirani na malipiro yanu.
Do you feel John was also answering your question?
Muganza Yohana naluyanka funso yanu na imwe.
Is someone in the audience you feel John is also talking about you? Yeah? Be content with your... I mean, how many times would you hear a preacher preaching like that today? Brothers and sisters, be content with your pay. No. That's not the message
si
today.
utenga wa lero uyo.
The message today actually,
Utenga wa lero inde mukukamba.
it makes people do the opposite.
Chilengeza vantu chita vintu vosiyana naizvo.
To always pursue something.
Nthawi zonse khala nofunisa usakira chinthu.
Even when someone is driving a Corolla,
Na pamene anayenza Corolla munthu.
believe God, my brother, for a Pajero.
Kulipira mulungu mbale wanga pali Pajero.
Now that is really playing around with wants.
Apo nkusowera na vivi lako.
And God does not require us to pray for things for the sake of lasting after a luxurious life.
Mulungu
No.
safuna icho kipembelele vintu mukufuna chabe kukonga umoyo wa mvesa bwino tupi. Maningi.
If you look at it very closely,
Mukachonesesa maningi.
what we have today is a satanic gospel.
Wenjili nao lero ni utenga wa Satana.
It has put the flesh of man at the center of
Waika
everything.
tupi ya muntu pa sogolo pakati pa vonse.
It is provoking people to ever reach out for more and more and more.
Ikuza vantu kuti vakale na mtima osakilisa ofunisisa vambiri na vambiri na vambiri.
Until even when one has sufficient for his needs,
Na pamene umoza linavokwana vofuna vake.
they feel they have little faith.
Vamvera monga wana chikhulupiriro ching'ono.
Not because they need more,
Uzachifuka wafunikira vambiri.
but because they judge their life by a standard of another person who has more than what they
Chifuka
have.
waweruza umoyo wao maonekedo ya muntu ana vambiri kuchira veve.
That's not the gospel.
Uyo si utenga.
Oh yes, that's not the gospel.
Uyo si utenga.
Let us read what James
Tienti verengi vamene Yakobo.
tells us about this.
Vamene atiuza pa ivi.
James 4 verse 3.
Yakobo 4:3.
Now, of course, when you teach simple words, teachings like this,
Mukapunisa tumau topo chidule monga uchu.
they seem so strange.
Viveka vachilendo.
They seem so way out of what everyone teaches.
Vioneka monga visiyana pamene wonse wapunzisa.
Yes, expectedly so.
Inde ndiye chifunikiro kalira.
Expectedly so.
In
It's
the-
not a surprise.
Inde sio dabwisa.
Because
Chifukwa.
when a wrong thing is done over and over and over again,
Vachinthosa enera chichibwezeka apo kambiri.
it looks normal in the eyes of people.
Chimaoneka monga chili bwino pamenso pa vantu.
And when even a simple truth is spoken, it seems so strange.
Na pamene kachidule kazoona ati kakambiwa kaoneka kachilendo.
But you realize these are the old teachings we used to have a long time ago.
Mwaona kuti ndiye maphunzitso yakudala tinali nawo nthawi zakumbuyo izi.
Before the flashy, glamorous prosperity gospel spread through all the way from Los Angeles,
Uyu
America.
utenga wapa manje wodabwisa ochoka ku Los Angeles ukapobwera.
But I love the old gospel.
Koma nikonda utenga wakudala.
And let's see what the old gospel says.
Tiendi vele pamene utenga wakudala uzatiuza.
James 4 verse 3.
Yakobo 4:3.
Yes. Let's read this
Tiendi verenge
all together.
pamodzi.
Are you there? Yes. Let's read. Ye ask and receive not, because you ask amiss, that you may consume it upon your lust. Did you hear that?
Mwamvera icho.
Akuti mpempera but summarandira.
You are asking but you are not receiving.
Ni chani mulungu sama kupasani?
Why God doesn't give you?
Chifukwa mupempa chabe kuti muviste enjoy
Chifukwa
according to your flesh, according to your lust.
you ask wrongly so that you fulfill them on the desires of your lust.
Let's look at that verse.
Tiendi one pali yo
You ask.
Mwapempa.
Oh, we should ask.
Inde tifuni kopempa.
Have you ever gone to the mountains when you are in prayer and
Unaenda
fasting?
kulupiri mwangati mpempera noleka kudya.
In Chamba Valley.
Kutamba vale.
Or have you ever just seen how a Pentecostal, typical
Mumaona
Pentecostal
wamene
service goes?
Pentecost apenta mapemperera wamene.
There is all sort of drama.
Uma ninga tosiyana.
People will be told to raise their hands.
Wazawa uzati ime manja.
I believe
Nakulupirira.
God, for a Pajero, or for a vehicle, and
Mulungu
for a big house.
ufuna moto katika nyumba ikulu.
A certain brother forwarded me a certain message on WhatsApp.
Kuli wina mbala ananitumira utenga pa WhatsApp.
Must be from India.
Ya ku
I
India.
can't remember. People always send all these images and stuff like that.
Vantu amatuma vose vitunzi hivyo.
So he sent this picture.
Anatuma chitunzi ichi.
It showed a very poor house on top,
Inalangiza kanyumba kosauka pamwamba.
full of a thatched house,
Kanyumba kama uzu.
And there were words written.
Pali mawe olembewa.
As we enter then year 2018,
Pentingena mchaka cha 2018.
how did it go? If you don't want this kind of a house,
Ngati mfuna nyumba ya so.
don't share this post.
Osagawa utenga.
Then just at the bottom,
Paja pansi.
a very beautiful house.
nyumba ya bwino maningi
With such spacious surroundings.
na kuonekera bwino pamalo
And if you believe in Jesus that you have this house in 2018, then share this spot.
kala na hii nyumba mtoto chini gawanya ya mawe walangize kona nzani.
Now please, if you ever receive such a nonsensical message, don't bother to post it to me, because I don't believe in that.
Mkalendera uyotenga wakuwa osa tayanta kunitumira inifuka sinikupira mwa hivi.
Ever told you this is how we request for things from the Lord?
Ndana kuna ndiye mwitipembera vintu kutoka kwa Mulungu.
If you want a blessing,
Ngati mfuna daliso,
send this message.
tumani utenga we.
That's not true. Don't get caught up in such things.
Sifa zona, ifosa sipeza mlivo vintu.
But as ridiculous as those things look like,
Mwamene mvekera ya chabe chachintu.
there are people who believe in such.
Kuli vantu wakulipira mwa hivo.
They go in prayer and fasting,
Wamenda mapembero leka kudya.
asking God for a better car than what they
Wapemba
have.
mkucha wapase kwa nyumba ya bwino.
Asking God so that, they can move from glory to glory, as they call it.
Pemba Mulungu tiwangaende toka kulemerero kwenda kulemerero mwene wachitanira.
God never gives us a thing so that we can consume it upon our lust.
Mulungu sama tipasa chintu chise chingachitiere pa vilako lako vati pa mtupi.
That lust means wanting to be luxurious,
Chilako lako chachima chikanda tanda kwa kufuna kana umoyo wapa mwamba womvesa bwino tupi.
This lust mentioned in James, it means having more than you need.
Hii chilako lako chakamba mulibukia Yakobo kana vambiru chila mwenu ufunikira.
This doesn't mean we have to live poor lives or things like that.
Ichi chitanda zote sifani kukala mioyo sauka ya bwanji.
But you need to know the difference between
Mfunu kwa ziwa kusia na pali
having something
kukala na chimozi
to be comfortable
kunkala bwino
and having something
na kukala na chintu
for the sake of consuming it upon your lust.
pa kufuna tabe kuti mzichidia pa chilako lako chanu za mtupi.
Before I had that car,
Inekapo kana moto
I
kai.
prayed to God.
Napembera kwa
I said,
Mulungu.
Lord, I'm having so many difficulties.
Ambuye nina vuto kuyenda mavuto.
When I have visitors,
Na lendo
when I want to visit some places,
tomtandale kwa malo.
Lord, if it pleases you,
Ambuye ngatikondwele sana.
I desire a vehicle.
Ine nifunisisa ko nifuna kwa moto.
And I mentioned to him exactly the type of vehicle I wanted.
Ninamuuza moto kai nalufuna.
And there it came.
Inabwera.
Can you see that?
Mwaona?
There was a need.
Panali sofuna.
Now, suppose I say, I think I need another car.
Nikapati mfuna moto kai nangu.
I need to have a good reason for that.
Nifuko ngana lingo paiti.
I don't just look around and say, that brother has a good car.
Simfuno kama mjambala na moto kai bwino.
That brother really looks blessed.
Ujambala one ko dalisika.
Lord, please, can you bless me? I now need a bigger car.
Ambuye na papa atandalise nifunika moto kai kulu.
God doesn't answer prayers by spoiling us the way a parent can spoil his children of all the goodies they want. John the Baptist taught them, be content with your wages. What was he trying to tell them? Is it a bad idea if a child of God prays, Lord, I need a salary raise? No, that's not wrong. But you need to understand, what is John addressing here? What problem is he addressing? It's a fundamental problem in the psyche of a human being. This is what you need to know. First, let us read Ecclesiastes 1 verse 8. I'll be winding up soon. Let us all read. All things are full of labor. Man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. Now, you want to interpret that?
Vintu vose nivozula na nchito muntu sanga chilangize. Linso si kutira na kuona, kwatu nayo si zula na kumvera.
Now look at this here.
Onani hapa.
If you want something,
ngati mfuna chintu,
the question is, why do you want it?
Funso ni kuti nchani mfuna ja chintu.
It needs to fulfill a certain need.
Ifani kukwanisa chifuniro china.
The next question.
Funso yokongapo.
Why is there that need?
ni chani pali chifuniro chija.
Without that eternal purpose of God,
Kopanda ijalingo ya miyaya ya Mulungu,
everything we do becomes meaningless.
zose veti chijazima kala pachabi.
So no matter how someone succeeds,
Na kutu umoza enda bwani pasogolo.
no matter how much he or she accumulates,
Na kutu apakisa chusa bwanji zofu zali nazo.
if the ultimate goal and everything ends at the grave,
Ngati lingo yose na voze vipera pamanda.
then it means all efforts are really so futile and vain.
Nishikuyesa kose kwa kala pachabi.
Don't we measure the price or the value of something based on its durability?
Sestima pima mtengo wa chindi kulingana na ntawi tali mchinga kalire.
So how durable are the things you are pursuing?
Vita vimene musakira nvo mvakungala ntawi tali bwanji.
If one's existence can be summarized into eating, working hard so that you can eat well,
Ngati ukadi wa mundu chabe wanga ukweza kumkamba kuti mkati kudya na kungala bwino chabe.
then in essence, eating is a god.
Nishi mkamba chabe nishitikamba kuti kudya ni Mulungu paweka.
Because it means you sweat for it,
Nishitano tu uchoke achive pa
you run for it,
utamangira kwa hicho.
you knock off home late because of food.
Kumbuka tochedo kwera kunyumba chifukwa chakudya.
But it can never be.
Koma singa nkhale.
No more than we put fuel in the car just for the sake of it moving.
Kuikira mafuta moto kakuti tingoikira mfuta tande izienda.
God cannot give us the fuel of food just for us to walk about and grow up and die.
Nzanga tupase mafuta takudya tizienda tikule na kufa.
If there is no God,
Ngati kulibe Mulungu.
then life is a big, vain venture.
Nishi umoyo wakala chabe kuyesa kwa chita vintu kwa chabe chabe.
It means him who commits suicide really has done nothing wrong.
Chitazo tu ujawazipaya chabe pali sana lakwe.
Because the whole meaningless drama has worn him out.
Chifukwa kalibe yose libetya chabe chabe ya muwina.
But you know what makes life worthwhile?
Kutanchirengesa umoyo kala wenera.
You know what makes efforts worthwhile?
Chamenchi maisa kukuika konzeru kutukato enera.
It is because we see something beyond the food we eat.
Chifukwa tionapo chimozi kuchirapa chakudya chamenchi madya.
And that is why I can take what I have and give it to another person.
Chifukwa chake ningatenge vemene nili navo nopasa mundu wina.
Because whatever the Lord allows to pass through my hands, I'm only a steward.
Vilipose Mulungu wavomekeza kuti vibwere manja mwanga ine ndinosunga chabe.
And for that reason,
Chifukwa cha icho
there is nothing I can fear in this world.
kulibe chimozi ningayope mziko.
Because everything I live for
Chifukwa vonse pamene nikhalirapo
is measured against this scale.
iva vipimira na iskelo.
So there is a purpose
Kuli lingo
that God has.
yamene Mulungu ali nayo.
And whatever I do,
Vonse nichita.
whatever I espouse,
Vonse veni ninapanga ndinochita.
whatever I'm pursuing for in life,
Vonse nisakirisa mu moyo.
I don't pursue that thing because of itself.
Ine sinisakira chifukwa cha chamene chita chinthu.
Are we together?
Tili pamodzi.
You don't buy a car because of the car itself.
Imwe simagula motoka chifukwa cha motoka yamene. Iya.
You don't eat food because of the food itself.
Simale takudya chifukwa cha takudya chamene.
Do you go and shop, right?
Maina mShoprite.
You see an orange?
Mwaona orange.
So let me buy it because if I don't buy it, it will remain here. Huh?
Makabati nigule orange kani igule orange ngati nigule sasa.
No. You don't buy that thing for the sake of itself.
Magula chita chinthu chifukwa cha chita chinthu iyayo.
But because of a certain purpose which is crying out
Chifukwa cha
there.
lingo yamene indira mu.
So you buy it so that it fulfills a certain purpose.
Kuchigula kuti mukwanise lingo ina.
But
Koma.
there is a want in the stomach.
Tofuna mumimba.
But why do you put the food in the stomach?
Chani maika chakudya mumimba.
So that you cannot be hungry.
Kuti msakhale na njala.
But the greater question is,
Koma funzo ikulu ni yakuti.
why don't you want to be hungry?
Sikukhala na njala.
But unfortunately,
Koma masoka.
many people only answer the question as far as, why am I buying this? The answer, they only end at, because I need to put it in the stomach. The bigger question is, why don't I want to be hungry? Because I want to be alive. Why do I want to be alive? There is a purpose which the one who holds your breath, he established up to a certain standard. He has a certain purpose. So your life, your pursuits, whatever you do, they are weighed against that. If it goes like this, your life is wanting. It is a life full of vanity.
Ni umoyo wozula na batabe.
And Daniel looked at Belshazzar
Daniel anaona Belshazzar
and said, you've been weighed in the balances.
Wapimiwa iwe pa maskelo.
You've been found wanting.
Wapelewera.
The question is, wanting against what?
Ukambati nopelewera kwa chani?
Against him who gave you breath.
Kupelewera kuli ujana kupasa mpwilo.
Is that all you can do out of life?
Jeve ungachita chabe mumoyo.
Marrying,
kukwatira,
working hard,
sevenza na mpamvu.
then later on we preach at your funeral.
Pambuyo pake talalikira pa malilo yako.
We can't make life so cheap.
Isesinga upange umoyo kalo chipa manini.
And until someone wakes up
mpaka umozi wauka
to know what is this thing in this other hand,
kuziwa ichi chintu chili mmanja mwina nchani,
you won't know how to live your life.
simzaziyomo nkhalira umoyo wanu.
Are you getting that?
Mwamvesesa.
If you don't know that thing,
ngati mchiziyo cha chintu,
you just be living life carelessly. You don't know whether you are wanting. You don't know whether you are above.
umoyo wanu kapenti mopelewera ulipa mwamba.
But how terrible it is
Mchoyo fya bwanji cho.
when you go over the other side
Mukaenda kuja kumalo ena.
and you stand in his presence.
Mwaimira pamenso pake.
That's when reality strikes you.
Ndiye pamene maonekedwa zoona yakukuzani.
What did I made out of the life God gave me?
Napanga chani pa umoyo Mulungu ananipasa.
Do you think we're going to tell God to say, well, Lord, I was a very faithful supervisor at work?
Mzakaza chizabuza Mulungu kuti nalugwira maningi ntchito bwino nalikapenga wa bwino kuntchito.
What did that work add to his eternal purposes?
Ija ntchito inekako chilingo bwanji ku ntchito yake ya muyaya.
That is why Paul said, for me to live is Christ.
Paula kama tine nikale nchani Kristo.
That is why Paul said,
Nchifuka yake Paula nati.
I am set running towards the high price.
Tamanga kufika pa malipira pa mwamba.
Oh, saints, there is a high price in this life.
Abale kuli malipira pa mwamba mziko lini.
There is a price to be won at the end of the day.
Kuli malipira hapa niko wini wa pambuyo pale.
And if you are in a race,
ngati muli mkutamanga mlivido.
you need to know what you are running for.
Mfano kozocha mene msakirisa.
You need to know that, isn't it?
Mfano koziva icho.
Because if you're just running,
ngati mtamanga chabe.
you're just living in this life,
mukala chabe mu moyo uno.
well, everything becomes worthless.
Bose vikala va chabe.
Praise the Lord, amen.
Ambia tamandike.
Let us read Matthew 24:38 and close.
Tuverenge Matthew 24:38 tivale.
For as in the days, now I want you to listen carefully.
Mbesesi.
There's something important here.
Pali chimosi chikulu.
Matthew 24:38.
Matthew 24:38.
For as in the days that were before the flood.
Chimozi na masiku yanaliko chimvula chikalipobwera.
There's some things which are mentioned here,
Kuli vintu vikambiwa hapa.
which these people who lived before the flood used to have.
Vantu amene wakhala chimvula chikalipobwera wanalukhala navo.
And there was something wrong with what they were doing.
Panali chimozi chinali bwino pevana wanaluchita.
And God destroyed them to the floods.
Mulungu anawaononga kuvimvula.
The question I want to ask you is, why did God destroy them with the flood?
Funso nifuna kufunsa njani Mulungu anawaononga na chimvula.
The answer is because of what they were doing.
Funso ni kuti vamene wanaluchita.
Let's see what they were doing.
Tiye tuone wanaluchita.
Are you ready?
Mwakonzeka.
Let's read. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were doing what? They were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. Now, the question is,
Funso ni yakuti.
what is wrong with eating?
Vuto yakudya nchani.
What is wrong with drinking?
Chakumwa vuto nchani.
What is wrong with marrying and giving in marriage?
Vuto yakukwatirana nokupasa mkukwati nchani.
Hey,
Hapa.
this is what the Lord is saying here.
Yepa mina mbuya chiuza hapa.
They were eating
Wanalikudya.
until their eating led them to being
Baka
destroyed.
kudya kwao kunalekisa tu waonongewe.
Is eating wrong?
Kudya nkwa iko lakwa.
Nothing wrong with eating.
Ile vuto pakudya.
Is marrying wrong?
Kukwatirana pali vuto.
Nothing wrong with marrying.
Ile vuto na kukwatira.
But why did their lifestyle lead them to the destruction of the flood?
Ni chani moyo wao unapeleka kuchonongeko cha mvula.
Because they were found wanting.
Chifuka wanapesa kwa tunopelevera.
Why were they found wanting?
Chani wanapesa kwa tunopelevera.
They concluded the whole life purpose in eating.
Wanaganiza kuti yonse lingo na machito yao ya umoyo wao mpesa cha mkudya.
Their whole obsession was waking up, going for work,
Wotenga nzeru zao na mbangu zao zose vinani kwenda kunchito chabe.
earning a salary,
Kupeza ndarama.
buying food on the table.
Kula chakudya pa table.
God looked at that.
Mulungu anaona hicho.
This is a very big waste.
Akuta pa chuononge kwa chukuru hichi.
If people are not part of the purpose of God.
ngati vanthu siwali mbali ya zinthu za mulungu,
No matter how intelligent they are,
nakuti niwaphunzira bwanji,
no matter how wealthy they are,
nakuti niwolemera bwanji,
they are not different from a heap of rubbish.
siwasiyana na chiswaso cha vidoti.
Hey, you say, that's a strong language, brother.
mukamba kuti mawu yolimba
No, it's a fact.
icho ndimwe mchazona.
Because when you died,
mukamwalira,
no matter how much hungry lion was in that body,
bwanji,
no matter how much expensive perfume was on that body, no matter what a rich estate that body used to stay in, it will surely become rubbish. It will all rot and become worms. That is true, isn't it? And that is why I say, without the Holy Spirit living in us, all the food we eat, all the good clothing we can put on, ultimately we shall die, and all our efforts will be reduced to stinking rubbish. Even your beloved husband, who says, oh, I'll love you forever and ever, will keep walking hand in hand. They'll never agree to sleep with you in that coffin. If we were to take them later on 3 days, they'll say, why? You are no more. You've died. But life can't be so cheap. The Creator had a greater purpose. But in those days of Noah, they were drinking, they were marrying, and God saw something wrong in that. Why were they marrying? Well, because everyone does it. Ukakula, you need to marry.
When you grow up, you need to.
Really? Is that the reason why we marry? No, God had a purpose in the beginning. When Adam was created as a spirit, God told him, multiply. The question is, what was he to multiply? He was supposed to multiply the image and the likeness of God. Because that is what God made in the beginning. Let us make man in our image and likeness. And when he made man, he gave him a woman to reproduce that, image. Now you know there is something about reproducing. Here is an example. There is a place. Students are about to write an examination. And it's urgent. Then the one who is supposed to print shows up at the last minute. And they tell him, go and print such and such a paper. He prints the first one. Then he is told, can you make a photocopy? Then this printed paper is placed on the table. Oh yeah, this is the one I'm supposed to print. Then he looks somewhere. That other paper is blown away. He looks at another paper. So this is the one I had put here. And he makes 100 copies. He is photocopying a wrong image. Now, increasing the number of copies does not make it a right copy. The only way is to go back and see, hey, where did we go wrong? And in the beginning, man fell from the glory of God. The image of God was dented. And from that time, we've been having wrong photocopies. A man and a woman, they meet, they have children, damaged copies. Reproduced in the image of sin and iniquity. As we are talking,
mwentikamba
more damaged images are still coming out.
yambiri machana mapepa yose kutoka bwino yakalichoka.
The devil is still churning out wrong copies.
Satana kalupanga apanga yambiri yose inene.
Whatever copy is born and serpent in iniquity.
Yonse abwera
Born and serpent in iniquity. Born and serpent in iniquity.
How
but chinalembedwa
it was written.
Chinalembedwa but muli uchimo matupi.
Yes, it was written, but the bodies have got sin.
So God says,
Mulungu akana.
Let's go back to the beginning.
Tiendi bwere kuyambi.
He had to make another Adam, a new copy.
Wendo panga majadamu na pepa ina kukopina.
Is the copy which was supposed to be the image and the likeness of God. So again, like Adam, Jesus was born without sex. A new copy was made again. And one day a theologian went to Jesus. He dressed like a son of God. He dressed like a priest. You know, priests would dress in a certain way. Huh? Like today, they put on a dog's collar. He's a consecrated one. It shows he's consecrated. He has the Holy Spirit to minister the word. The Pope goes an extra mile. There's a way he wears that hat. They dress in a certain way as sons of God. So one of these guys visited Jesus. We know you are a great teacher. Jesus looked at him. He looked at his clothing. His clothing talked everything about wanting to be like a son of God. But with all the theology he had, he says, no. You are still a damaged copy. You need to be born again. Praise the Lord. And that's the only way you can enter that kingdom of God. But today man has created a religion to look like sons and daughters of God. They'll sing in tono, soprano, nice choir, and all that. But deep down their hearts, they know they have sinned, they have iniquity. On Sunday it looks like a very nice church. And the priest with all the nice outfit comes and prays nicely. But when the sun sets, that young lady goes in the dark corners to commit filthy things. But the eyes of God are able to say, that doesn't look like me. That doesn't look like me. That doesn't look like me. And that is why the Bible says, in the last days, men will try to put on the form of godliness, but yet denying the power of godliness. Let us read that. Yes, let's read 2 Timothy 3 verse 1. Are you there? This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves. Remember what we started saying? When we started the sermon? Selfishness. Covetous. You know what it means to be covetous? Kukumbwira.
That one is good, nice, we should buy.
You can't bear just to see something and appreciate someone for it. You always covet. You see someone has something, you feel you should upgrade yours. Boasters. Proud. Blasphemers. Have you ever seen how even the name of Jesus is blasphemed in the so-called Pentecostal churches? They've taken the name into ungodly singing. There are even many preachers, they speak dirty jokes, funny jokes. in mentioning the name of Jesus right from the pulpit. These things you see here, they won't manifest in people who are in taverns. They'll manifest in people who think themselves righteous and religious, disobedient to parents, unthankful. There are many Christians like that. They are never thankful for what God does for them. When God gives them this, they always want to ask for another thing and feel like, I need this. Not realizing there are other people who don't even have a quarter of what they have. Listen to me, no matter how you want to ask for whatever you want to ask from God, before you ask, first acknowledge and be thankful for what He has done for you. Because another person completely doesn't have what you have. Is that right? Unholy, without natural affection. You see another person in need, it doesn't even move your heart a little. And that's the society we have now. Truth breakers, false accusers. Notice that word, it has come again. Can you read it? Incontinent. Remember, that's what John said, huh? Right? Soldier says, Master, what shall we do? Be content with your wages. And here again, in the last days, people will be incontinent, ever wanting more. More. Listen, more is a bottomless hole. It will never be filled. If that is how your life is characterized, you'll never reach a place where you say, Lord, I thank you. Fierce, despisers of those that are good. You know that is how our society is today. People who are good are despised. A place like this where the word is being preached and shared, people despise. They want a big place, very entertaining. But I tell you, these words will give you eternal life. Praise the Lord, amen. They won't give you entertainment, but they'll give you something that one day you'll be thankful. Traitors, heady, high-minded. Don't you think the modern gospel shapes people in this framework? You know, the modern gospel teaches you how you need to be proud, brother. People twist scriptures to their destruction until the whole thing has become an affair of ego. You need to have a vision. You know, pray to God to give you a 5-bedroom house. I tell you one thing, I won't pray for that house unless really there is a need. We don't just pray with a heady, high-minded mentality. We pray for things when we need them. You don't just do things so that people can know you are blessed. Lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. Now here it is. Having a form of godliness. Form of godliness. Walk
slowly, respectfully.
Having a form of godliness.
God bless you.
You know, you do that. You really look holy. Yeah? Having a form of godliness. Ever seen how Pentecostals preachers want to pretend like, oh, the Holy Ghost is in them, but filth is in their hearts. What we have today is a form of godliness.
pamechirinago lero ni maonekedwe ya mulungu.
But only God knows the filthy that hides in the hearts of people.
Mulungu chabe ndiyaziwa vonyansa vene bisama mtima ya vantu.
People fornicate.
Vantu vamachita chigololo.
On Sunday, they're on the pulpit, they're preaching.
Pasondo vali paguwa walalikira.
Yeah, that is what happens.
Ndiye vimachitika.
Having a form of godliness.
Kana maonekedwe ya mulungu.
Singing so nice in the choir. You know,
Kuimba bwino mkwaya.
with that guy who does those hands like this.
Uja mundu na machita manja so.
Well coordinated singing.
Kuimba kwa mena kuchigwirizana bwino.
When you enter the place, you really feel the presence of God is here.
Japambana mtu koma munga mwetu mulungu zona alipo.
Having a form of godliness.
Kana maonekedwe ya mulungu.
But yet the power of God is not
Koma
there.
mpamvu ya mulungu silipo.
The power that can change a heart in repentance.
Mpamvu ingachinja mtima kulapa.
The power that can make a prostitute to say, the world behind me, the cross before me now. There is a power in this word. I have seen this word change people. I've seen this word change prostitutes. I've seen this word change drunkards. Hey, there's some people here who are drunkards. But today they go in prayer and fasting. They jump in the presence of God saying, hallelujah. That's the power of the gospel. A power that takes a sinner down on his knees. And he can cry out in the presence of God. And he begins to carry the Bible under his chest, his arms, and says, I am a changed person. He can look into the eyes of fellow sinners. And he can tell them, get away from this life. There is no profit in it. That's the power of the gospel. We don't want just a form of godliness. We want the power. And here is a warning. These people having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. What's the warning? Does it say, bear with them, they are also children of God? Is that what it says? Does it say we are all family of God? Here, does it say, is that what it says? We are all sinners. So be patient with them. No, sir. Let's all read it together. Your voices high. From such turn away. That is what God calls us. The gospel of God is a gospel of separation. Oh, praise the Lord. Amen. Shall we stand?